All right. This cable's quit. Let's see if I can attach this. Okay, should. Okay, so this is the here. What happened? Okay, oh, you have a napkin right there. Just figured, okay.
Been that kind of morning.
All right, let me just show the picture that we're gonna be working on, although this looks reversed from the camera. This is the Halloween trick or treat, witchy kind of jumping in a cauldron, picture we're gonna be doing today. So we're gonna start laying it out with a quick sketch of what it's going to be. So let me get some. Let's start. Did you get orange already?
No.
Maybe get some orange. And we'll start sketching it out with just a little bit of orange. Or if you want to start sketching it out with your pencil, that's fine too. I just like to sketch with just the paint, but whatever you want to do, it's fine. Oh, is that a new one? Oops.
Nope.
Forgot one was already opened. So, well, I do need to share the colors on here. So we're laying out green. That's also new too. Purple, black, white, a little bit of yellow, and orange. Probably do not make it easy to open this. Okay.
And it is perforated there.
Oh, this purple is perfect. There you go. And white. Did you get it? Okay. Finally.
Fix those plastics.
Yeah. Okay, so again, if you want to do it with a little bit of like watered down paint, you can, or you can just use your pencil to sketch it out. So I guess to start us off, we would want to start with the big ball of the cauldron, okay? So I would go about like, think about putting it in this bottom corner. And you just really want to start with just a big kind of oval shape. So it's going to be something like, why is that reversed? Yeah, let me see if I can flip it. Are you going to be mostly looking at the screen or this one?
That one.
Okay, let me flip it then because this is backwards. It's not that. Video settings, maybe? Here it is. It says mirror my video. There we go. Okay, now it's on the right side. And I realize I need to make this darker so you can see it. So we're gonna just basically go maybe about halfway here. And we're just gonna be making like a big oval shape for the bottom of the cauldron. And this is gonna go more than halfway past. So if you're kind of looking at it this way, it's gonna be pretty big down there. So I would even bring that cauldron even wider. And then this top one is gonna be about halfway. So if you're thinking about it, you're kind of cutting it in halfway right here. This is where the top of it starts.
Okay.
And then pretty close to this side, definitely more than halfway. This is where the cauldron kind of ends on this side. So it's kind of like a big C.
Okay.
And then you get the line kind of cutting across it. Like this. So we're just trying to get a basic shape of the cauldron, nothing, you know, nothing finalized. Yeah, that's a great size.
Okay.
Okay. And then we're gonna just roughly place where the feet are gonna go. Okay, so I know it's weird because we don't want to attach them yet, but we want to make sure we get both boots in there, right? So on the one side, we have one of the shoes, right? So one of these like witchy boots. And so we just want to make sure we have enough room to place it. So it kind of has like a little spiral or, you know, kind of funny point. So I'm just kind of placing a general shape where this boot is gonna go. And then this part has the heel. See that? And then same thing on the other side. And this one can go all the way to the top over here. So I just kind of started it with like a little round, right? Round. And then I can start making kind of like the heel at the bottom and the top of the boot, right? So be the heel at the bottom. This is kind of like the top of the boot. Yeah, like that. That's it.
Oh, this is sorry. Oh,
So just to get the general placement. Yeah, with a little heel. Yeah, that's good. Okay. All right, and then, so now that we know where the feet are gonna go, or, you know, approximately, then we can start just making a really light line, kind of making it like, so the legs are sticking out. So make sure you kind of make it like a V. So the legs look like they're, you know, coming from the same point. And then another little kind of skinny leg in here. And then we're gonna cover this bottom part with bubbles, so it's not gonna look that weird.
yeah, like how I have it, her foot is, you know, 19 feet long.
Yeah, so it's gonna look long, but there's gonna be a lot of bubbles in here, so it's gonna not look so strange. And so one of the things I'm noticing is that this boot looks like it's kind of angled, so I'm gonna make it fit the shape of the. I'm gonna make it fit the shape of the leg, so that this line kind of matches this outside boot line a little bit. You want to see it? So it kind of like this one and this one are kind of like going the same way a little bit.
Okay.
And again, it's just a sketch, so don't, you know, it's not the final thing. And then so in here, lightly, we can just kind of place just an idea kind of where the bubbles are going to go up to from the bubbling cauldron. Just so we know, okay? Yeah. It's kind of like a full cauldron. That already looks cute. All right. And then the writing, all the little details and stuff we can add later. So, you know, at this point, we want to start painting and you want to get a larger brush. So like that bigger brush that you have in there, that would be great. I actually brought some of my nice brushes from home just because they were handy. And so we're going to get the light green and we're going to just start filling in the background, but not really worrying too much about outlining everything perfectly, right? We're just trying to go around everything that we made. Filling in this like light green. So if, you know, if you get on the pencil line, it's okay. We're just kind of filling in the background. Just to give us some coverage. So usually when I think of like Halloween, I think of like orange and black. But a lot of like Halloween decorations now, especially like, you know, different craft stores and stuff, I'm seeing like greens and purples and oranges and neon, you know,
right,
pinks and different kinds of like glow in the dark blue. And so, you know, you can kind of stretch beyond like your basic colors. After I bought, I went to, where did I go? Ross, I think. And I guess they must have had some Halloween decorations from like the previous year or something, but they're so cute. I ended up buying this little ghost with like it's like a ghost on top of a pumpkin, and I had a little, you know, holding something. So cute. And I usually don't buy Halloween decorations like that, but
they really have come out with a lot of cute.
Yeah. And I always am a fan of like cute, cheery looking decorations instead of like scary decorations, so. Saw that, I was like, oh, that's the cutest little thing, cutest little ghost, and then I bought like a little mummy doll. And it was holding a little pumpkin, it was just like a little adorable mummy. Yeah, so I'm still actually thinking about which project to do for the needle felting class. I think for October, we're gonna do the owl. And then for this one, I'm not sure exactly which project to focus on.
Okay,
I did like the idea of doing flowers, but then I feel like people have done that already. So. I don't know, I think maybe a cat would be kind of a one to start off with, or like a little bird, something like that. I don't know. So, I'm gonna narrow it down next couple days.
well, whatever, because I did a mushroom, so
Oh, okay.
that is, doesn't seem to be in your, what you're thinking,
Yeah.
so,
No, I'll probably a little animal.
yeah, that'd be good.
On the flyer, I had a picture of a dragon, which is really hard, a cat, and something else. So. We'll see. All right, bottom section. And then all good. Still finishing up the background, right? Okay, I'll give you a second. It's fine. You can finish it up. Oh, go ahead and go inside these
Right,
swirls a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and then I think your leg right on this part needs, yeah, that needs to be a little bit thicker, but that's okay. You can just paint it thicker.
okay.
So you made it connecting to the top of the boot instead of the leg, the opening of the boot right here.
Yeah, so I don't know why.
It's okay. I'll show you right now. Actually, let's fix the boot right now so you can see it. Okay.
Okay,
So get a little bit of a smaller brush. Oh, you're finishing the brain. Go ahead and do the brain. That's fine. I'll start painting one boot just so you can see it. Yeah. So I would start the boot with this top of the leg here, like the top of the boot.
okay,
That's upside down, so it's confusing, but it's just gonna show you where the legs go into. So I would just make that part a little bit wider than the actual leg, so you can see that the legs are going into that little rounded top part. Oh no, this part.
uh-oh,
It's fine. So this is gonna be the top of your boot right here.
oh, okay,
And then your leg, we can just move it over a little bit. So
Right.
it's here and going into that boot, and then we can just paint over that.
okay. Paint is forgiving,
Yes, we can cover up any mistakes. It's very easy.
especially black.
Yeah, if you want to try to wipe it off a little with a small brush, you can, but we can always paint over it. And that's kind of the shape of the boot here. It kind of has like a funny point to it. And then we make this a little bit thicker. And green. One boot. And then just where this connector is right here, where the bottom of the boot is, I just make that a little thicker.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it looks like the foot can actually fit in there.
chest, 5,000 thin feet.
The other boot, I'm gonna make this a little bit longer just so it matches that one. So you can even start thinking about this whole boot as like a rectangle. But how it kind of has like a curvature to it.
Okay,
So if that's easier to see it, you know, like a big rectangle. And then you add the foot part that's sticking out. And this is a small canvas, so my foot's kind of falling off the edge here. There's an 8x10 canvas, so we'll definitely do it on like a 9x12 or even 11x14 if you have one.
okay, so that part right there needs to be green.
Yes.
Okay,
So you can just wait till that dries and then paint over it, or just, yeah. And the little feet. And then the next black section is just gonna be the outline of a cauldron.
okay,
Okay, so for the cauldron part, we just wanna give it a little bit of like a rim. So I'm gonna have like a little rounded edge right here. So you can kind of see it's like a little bit of a rim. It's almost like a really long, skinny, like oval pill shape.
okay.
And then this curvature just kind of comes out of that. And then I think we're gonna leave the inside blank so you can write in there with a bright color, whatever you're gonna write. So in this picture that I have, it just says, you know, trick or treat, but if you wanna write something else, Halloween, or whatever you wanna write, leave it blank so that the black doesn't kind of overpower the writing. But we are gonna paint in the rim that we made and just a little bit of the outside outline of the cauldron. So just right here where it has this edge, just give it a little bit of a roundness. A little more of a more bubble. Yeah, there you go.
Because otherwise the purple's gonna be pouring out of that.
Right, and the bubbles are gonna kind of go all over, so even some of the edge of this will be full bubbles, so that's okay.
Okay,
Good. And then the next thing with black or fun part here, we're gonna do these stripes of these stockings that are just very kind of silly looking. So we're gonna make a stripe. Maybe 3. However you wanna make them. If you wanna make them really thin, you could probably get more in there.
okay, so her legs are not black.
No,
Okay,
so it's okay if you have that little line because
Yes,
we're gonna
that's fine.
outline it anyway. So just make these little horizontal stripies for her fun leggings. Which I think now you can buy these leggings at like Halloween stores, stuff, costume stores.
I'm sure.
When I would, you know, work at the high school, I would dress up every year for Halloween. Usually just something simple, right? Whatever I could throw together at the last minute. And now I'm like, should I dress up? I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm gonna be giving out candy this year.
You didn't live there last year though, at Halloween, you were in California still?
Yeah, but I know that in the new neighborhood where I am now, they get a lot of visitors. They said that like you would have to buy tons of candy to, you know, accommodate all the people that come. And I'm like, oh my goodness. They're like, yeah, you need to buy like, you know, $200-300 worth of candy. I'm like, oh my gosh. where all these kids come from? I never see any kids. I rarely see kids in my neighborhood. So I'm like, where did all these kids are coming from?
The reason I say that is because when we moved here, we had set up like hot cider
Oh, okay.
and donuts, and we didn't have one single kid.
Really?
But now we live on Center Street,
Okay.
so I can understand. But I was just like, oh, they all go to trunk or treating.
What is that?
Trunk or treating is, a lot of churches have you open your trunk and you put, the candy in there. And then the kids come car to car and they,
Oh, I see. I didn't know that was a thing. That's cool.
yeah, I think that's very cool. It keeps the kids out of the neighborhood,
Yeah, that's true.
you know?
Yeah, I at one point, I mean, I remember when I was little, like we would just go out and hit up like 2, 3 different neighborhoods right next to ours and, end up within our own neighborhood. Now it's like,
Right,
I feel like people drive somewhere else to go get candy and it's like, just go in your own neighborhood. Everyone's gonna grab candy. Like usually, right? Okay, so we have that. So while this is all drying, we don't want to put any of the colors that are gonna be next to the black because then it's gonna like smear it. So I think at this point, it would be a good time to write whatever you're gonna write on here. So with a small brush, just think about like, what you want to put on there. I'm just gonna put trick or treat just because that's what's already on here. But if you want to write that, write it, that's fine too. So I'm gonna try to lay it out. Actually, probably should have done it with a pencil, but I'll just see if I can get it on here. Laying it out really thin first. Just kind of placing where these are gonna go. So move it on. Really sketchy at first, just make sure it fits. Trick or treat. Okay, the or is gonna be in here. Okay. Then I can kind of go into it thicker. And try to thicken up these lines because we are gonna go around it with the black, so you wanna make sure it's not gonna be too hard to outline it. So just try to make your letters a little bit like, wider.
okay.
Oops, I filled in the middle of the O. Okay, I'll fix that later. Yeah, and you can just, let that green where the black is dry. And then
Okay.
when it dries, then it'll actually go over a little bit more
Better.
smoothly. Yeah,
Okay.
because if it's still all wet, it's just gonna keep blending and blending, so.
And
Kind of
I'll
have to phase it out, so it's like,
and then I'll have dark green.
yeah, which, it's fine. So we have, we're gonna let that writing dry before we go into it with black. So the next kind of open thing that we have is the space for the bubbles. So with the purple, you can start making some of these bubbles, which this is a beautiful color. It's like this eggplant color from Sportica. I really like it. And we can just start kind of making these round bubbles. And you kind of put the placement of where they're gonna go already. And don't worry about them, overlapping each other. So I just kind of started filling it in, and you can almost think of it as like making like a bunch of grapes.
Yeah, we've been there.
Oh, yeah. So I'm even going over the rim a little bit. And then just can even start filling in the background. We can have these kind of bubbling up. Using a flat brush, I think a round brush would be good. Yeah, you're using the right one. So, different sizes. Depending on how, or where you put them, you might need another layer of it. So if they start going over the black and it's not quite like opaque enough, then we can put some more purple there later. Right now we're just trying to fill in where this is gonna go. Where all these little bubbles are gonna end up. Got one more here. So have fun with that wherever you want to.
The black is wet.
Yeah, so you could just leave that to dry a little bit longer. Go
Okay.
ahead and throw some more bubbles in your background. I think I put a little, I put a lot, but you don't have to put as many. It's I kind of went crazy with it. I went nuts. Okay. I'm just filling in my black. You don't have to
Okay.
worry about this right now. Just- If you have trouble painting, smaller details or anything like that, they do sell these like paint pens that are like acrylic paint pens.
Okay.
So if you ever have something like really tiny, like a little writing or, you know, fish or something you wanna do.
Oh, yeah, like Nemo.
Yeah, like they have these different kind of paint pens you can buy. You know, craft stores usually have the Posca brand. But
Oh, okay.
they have also, those are a little bit more expensive, but they have like sets online that are a little bit less expensive, but they're kind of fun to use because, you know, you can just write with paint basically a little bit
Right.
like a thick pen, you know, so just an idea. Because sometimes it can just be a pain to see.
Right.
With this brush, and if you don't have the right brush, it's like, oh yeah.
I got into diamond art, you know.
Oh yeah, that's kind of fun.
It is. It's kind of fun.
And you get all these like sparkly, sparkly things or whatever they're called, not paintings.
I was
You
surprised.
just adhere them, right? It's just like you stick them on, right? To the
Mhm.
surface. Yeah, I've never actually tried it, but it looks fun.
You have a little stick that has a little wax in it,
Okay.
and then you keep filling the wax not every single time, but you know, when it gets low, you fill the
Oh.
wax in and then it picks it up
Oh, so
out
the
of a tray.
wax is like the adhesive almost.
On the top, but the bottom is always sticky.
Okay, I see.
And then you have to I've been using the plastic covering. They give you a plastic covering and tell you to keep it covered
Okay.
when you're not working on it. And also to start at the bottom right corner and move yourself up.
Yeah, or else you're gonna be knocking over
Right.
what you're doing.
So it's been working out okay.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. Maybe I'll try it at some point. Although I just got, I'm always trying random stuff, and so I just got into, I got an embossing tool, like for
Oh.
card making,
Ooh.
and I remember doing it a long time ago. I used to work at a craft store, which is like a bad idea for me.
Yes.
By everything.
Very bad.
But I remember doing it when I had worked there a long time ago, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try that, even though I wasn't very good at it. But might as well
Yes.
mess around with it and see what comes out, make some Christmas cards or whatever.
And you don't know until you try it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't know how this was gonna be, so I bought a really small one to
Oh,
start.
right, the diamond stuff.
Yeah. Because they can get pricey up there.
Oh, really?
$50.
Oh, wow.
But it's probably a 16 by 20,
Yeah.
I would
Big
say.
old- Or big old artwork after. Okay, I already outlined mine, but you don't have to worry about that. I mean, you don't even have to go in and outline right next to the letter. You can just, kind of bubble around it if you want to.
Bubble. There you go.
Well, it's hard
No,
around
that's
each
okay.
letter. Okay, so it just kind of depends here for the stockings, how wet it is or how comfortable you feel adding the orange.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna get a little orange in here, and we're just gonna make like the color right next to this, so it's a little too wet, you might wanna wait, but mine's dry enough at this point,
I think it is too.
yeah. So. Oh, see, shoot, look, okay, that one's too wet. I'll go to another one that's more dry. Let's see. Oh, no, it's too wet. Okay. I'll wait. Okay, John. Okay. I did my orange, but so need some space. I need some orange in some spaces. So let's see. While that's drying, I'm just gonna touch up my boot a little bit. Oh, I was gonna touch up this green that has a little bit of orange on it. So I'm gonna just fix this little piece. Okay. That's good.
Yep, it does.
My fiance got bags of candy because, we had to get so much apparently, right? So he started getting bags of candy and all three of them are open already. And we've been picking it. And I'm like, oh. And
Oh,
every time I eat chocolate or too many like nuts or whatever, I get like pimples on my face. And so I'm like, oh, these Reese's peanut butter cups are just killing me.
to die for.
Yeah. I was like, and he loves white chocolate. So he got white chocolate Reese's ones, and I love regular chocolate. So I'm like, no, this needs to be hidden away. So
Right.
until Halloween.
But that's why they put it out in August, because they're hoping that, you take it home, eat it all, and then go,
Yeah,
"Now I gotta buy more."
right. Exactly. That's what we're gonna do, apparently. All right, you know what? I just realized that I did not paint my bottom of my color in here, so I'm just gonna put on some. Let's see. So now we have a lot of just little kind of details to do, but wherever we do the details, we just want to make sure that it's kind of dry so we don't smear it a lot.
Right,
So I'm trying to think here what would be the easiest. Probably the boots are more dry at this point. And so we can start making the buckle. And so I have a little bit of yellow if you want to just get like a little dab of yellow.
okay.
Wait, let's open it. Get a new bottle of yellow.
Oh, the bottom is purple.
Yeah, I did make the bottom purple in the picture, but it really doesn't matter.
Okay,
Unless you want to maybe throw some more bubbles, at the bottom there, but it's okay. It doesn't really-
just a couple more white and it'll
Yeah.
break it up there.
And then
It's
we'll
fine.
also make some white bubbles, so. There's a yellow for the buckle.
Okay,
And so yellow, if you want to make it a little bit more opaque, like less transparent, we can make it with a little bit of white. So I just put a little bit of white in the yellow and it'll just kind of go on with some better coverage. So it'll just cover it up with black a little bit more. So I'm just gonna make like a big buckle for that boot. Square. And yellow, is always kind of see-through, so might need to do this like twice. That's the buckle. And then I'm also gonna throw in some yellow into this trick or treat section, just to brighten it up a little, but you don't really need to. It's kind of just giving it a little bit of like an accent color. Let's bring a little bit of yellow.
oh, that was a bad choice.
I'll give it a little bit of pop in there. But, and again, that's not essential. Okay.
For Halloween, you need to make him a canvas that has a white peanut butter cup on it.
That's right. And he got the ones he got were little ghosts, little white Reese's ghosts. So make him some Reese's ghosts and maybe a picture of one with a bite out of it.
I made my mother-in-law a plate out of it was ceramics, but you just paint the ceramics.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
But it was a white plate, and I put on it a peanut butter sandwich with only peanut butter, savory jelly, on 2 pieces of white bread with a bite out of it, and it said, "Many have eaten, few have died." She goes, "I don't think that's funny." I said, "I thought it was hysterical." Like, oh my gosh. Have you ever been to Brushstrokes?
No, what is that?
Brushstrokes is a ceramics store that they have it's called greenware, I guess, the white.
Yeah,
Okay, and they have just hundreds of patterns of greenware.
yeah.
And then you paint it, and for a certain fee, like the ball might cost $50,
Mhm.
but you get all the paint time.
Right,
Unless
right.
they've changed that. They may have changed a little,
Yeah,
but I've made some great things in there, just things I love,
yeah.
you know?
They have what is it? What is that one called?
It's called Brushstrokes.
Brushstrokes, okay, yeah. Yeah, over in California, they have one that's called Color Me Mine.
No,
Color Me Mine, something like that. And kind of the same thing. They have Bisquare. It's called Bisquare.
oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but I remember how I think my sister made a really cool ice cream cone and did it all kind of like rainbow colors and stuff. It was really cute.
Yeah, and they give you really good ideas,
Yeah.
you know? It's just been sold the last year.
Mhm.
But they have hours, you know, that they are open, and then they have paint and sip, and
Oh, right. Those
That's
paint
what-
nights and
yeah,
stuff.
that's just what I would need to sip as I'm painting. Oh my
Right.
God.
Oh.
This is Jamie. I told Jamie I could not deal with her this week.
Okay.
Hello, Jamie. I'm good. Yes. What are you in? That'd be great. I'll be here at 10 o'clock. 10 to 1. I'll be here.
Figure it out and I'll play that later.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah, bye. That's my right.
Okay.
And I explained to her that I had a few too many things to do this week to do my right.
Okay, right.
I did one yesterday, but that was at 8 a.m.
Yeah,
Poor lady had to go to the dentist.
yeah.
It's like, yikes.
Mm.
Okay, now you painted into the bubbles rather, the grapes. Into the bubbles here on this white,
I painted, so it
Or-
overlapped it a little bit.
or should I just wait until this black really dries up here? I haven't
Um,
repainted that. It's still wet.
You could actually go in because I just went over this purple with another layer of purple anyway, because it's kind of like see-through. So when the first layer dried, I went back and I went over it with some more purple,
Okay,
just so you can really show the color purple, or else you might not see it through the black.
okay.
So if you do it right now with purple, it's okay, because you're gonna go over it anyway. But yeah, sometimes it's just a waiting game with painting. You just gotta wait for it to dry a little more.
Well, I have a setup we have like a front. Since we have the offices in the building,
Mhm.
we have like a front room. And in that front room, I have a big table set up. And on that table, I have all the projects that I'm working on.
Okay,
So I can leave them,
yeah, leave them out. I
which
know.
is better for me.
Oh, yeah, that's the
Because I
best.
used to have to put it away, and then I'd forget where I was, and then,
Yeah, that's always a hassle. Okay.
and I'm not used to waiting. You know, I want to get the paint on there and be done.
I just did some more bubbles on mine, but I'm gonna do this purple on the bottom. I'm gonna change it to purple, I'll maybe even make it look like there's a little shadow down there. You don't have to, I'm just indecisive. I'm just gonna paint this purple. Okay,
Well, it's hard to teach people to paint with the feeling that you have,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean, like,
Change it up last minute.
but that's why when we get done, it doesn't look like yours. But that's okay.
We brought like a metallic kind of gold to make this little buckle. That would be cool. Okay, my yellow is a little brighter now. Sort of light on it. Let's see. Oh, I see. Oh, that's better. That looks a bit better. It looks closer to what it actually is. Maybe it's like, can make it really dark. I think on the pumpkin one, I had a problem too, because the pumpkin, everything looks too dark when I started it. Okay. That looks fine. All right, so we have a lot of dark in it, so what's really gonna help to make it pop is adding those like white accents.
Mm-hmm.
But we do really need to wait for, most of it to dry. So finish up the background of the cauldron, black, maybe adding the purple on that rim, and these bubbles kind of overflowing over the cauldron. And
Okay.
then and the rest is just gonna be those little accents. Picture. So I'm gonna start putting a few in just so you can see kind of where they go, but they're all gonna be the same ones that are in the picture anyway. Go ahead and put those brushes that are on the side in the water, just so they don't get the paint dry on there
Okay.
and stuff. dry pretty quickly.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, I'm just gonna finish this up for the sake of the video, but, I'm just
Okay.
gonna put a little bit of highlights in here with, purple and white. on some of
Sure.
These grapes. And then I'm gonna do a little dot of white at the end. So, a little bit of light purple. I just added little bits of the purple in there just to bring some of those bubbles out. And then I did a little white dot highlight. And then lots of little lines around the boots, some little spirals kind of coming out. Maybe doubling it up with white where it's really dark or you can see the black through. And then that's it. Get a little lighter on here. That's better. Okay. So that's the end of the recording. We'll turn this off. Okay. And yes. Okay, bye everybody.